Right now, we turn our attention to BYU basketball. We announced earlier on BYU Sports Nation that Dalton Nixon would now play his freshman season at BYU and become a member of Dave Rose's 2014-2015 roster. He joins us in studio. Dalton, welcome to BYU Sports Nation. Your dad was a guest host. Did he give you any advice as you came onto the show in terms of what you need to do to bring it?
Not really. I mean, I did watch the show that he was guest host, and he did pretty good.
How would you rate that?
About a 6.5 out of 10.
Oh, what's better, your jumper or his performance as guest host?
Oh, my jumper for sure.
And he's standing right over there, so
Yeah.
this is also awesome.
He's just the head shake. No.
He's wearing Orem yellow as well.
Yes, he is. Dalton Nixon with us on BYU Sports Nation. The decision to come and play at BYU, why did it work out for you that way?
I think the biggest thing in it was timing. I think when if I would have left on my mission, it would have been difficult for me to come back, and I would have had about a month to get ready for the season. And
Wow,
I think with my situation, I think it's the best for me to play this year and then to go on my mission and then be able to get back in time and get rid of the mission legs and be ready to play when I come back.
When do you anticipate leaving on your LDS mission? Are you going to do like an Eric Mika thing where you leave in April or May, or how is that going to work
That's
out?
my plan right now.
Oh, okay.
After the season and after I'm done with school, then I'll leave on my mission after the season.
Okay.
And that's ideal because Tyler Haws, Kyle Collinsworth, who have been these anomalies with return missionaries who have performed well that next season, had plenty of time to get ready for that. Dalton Nixon is on BYU Sports Nation. What's the most exciting prospect for you to be able to play this season? Because that's a mental switch up from, hey, I'm going to start playing in 3 years.
Exactly, yeah. It's definitely, you have to change my mindset. And I'm very excited to play this season, very excited to play with the guys that are on the team this year and play for Coach Rose and all the coaches, and I'm looking forward to it.
It's an interesting scenario when you look at the fact that Jamal Aites, who we're projecting will be an integral part of this team, cannot play until late December. So there are some openings there at the 4 and 5 positions for BYU. What kind of a role do you anticipate having in that, especially in that early part of the season when there is some opportunities?
Yeah, Jamal, he'll be back and he'll be ready to go in December, and he's a beast. I mean, he's phenomenal. He's really fun to play with and fun to watch. And I think in the early part of the season, I'm gonna work to get ready and work to be able to contribute to this team this year before going on my mission. And I'm just ready to work hard and do what I can for the team this year.
Dalton, describe your game so we can figure out where you fit with BYU basketball next year.
So I'm a forward. I play the 4. I'm able to play both inside and out. I'm versatile in being that I can take it inside and out. And if I have a smaller guard on me, if I have a 3 guarding me, I'm going to take it inside. If I have a 4 guarding me, I'm going to take him outside and use my quickness and my jumper to be able to help out. So.
Can you shoot the 3?
Yeah,
I can.
that was my next question.
I mean, I am the son of Kevin Nixon, so I better be able to shoot the 3.
Can you
That's
shoot
right.
the 55-footer at the buzzer?
I cannot. No, definitely not.
The post. So you have some post moves as well.
Yeah.
You're like back to the basket as well.
Yeah, back to the basket. I'm 225 pounds, so I've got good size. And so for me, it's just being able to take what the defense gives me. I'll be able to shoot it and be able to play inside, and I think that's what helps out my game.
3-time All-State basketball player in Utah at Orem High School, the all-time leading scorer at Orem High School. Dalton Nixon is on BYU Sports Nation.
Was it Craig Cusick
It was
that
Craig.
had that before?
Yes.
Sorry, Craig.
Did you remind Craig the moment that you passed him in that category?
It was early in the season where I was like kind of thinking, if I average about 18, 19 points a game, I'll pass Craig. And so I mentioned I mentioned it to him early in the season, and then when it happened, I had to give him a little tweet. So yeah,
That's a nice record.
yeah,
That's how you trash talk now, huh?
Yeah.
And I noticed that you're very active on the Twitter machine.
I am. I'm very active on Twitter.
As is your dad. Who is the better tweeter, you or your dad?
Ooh, that's a good one. Because he's got some jokes. He's pretty good on
He
social media.
competes with Mark Durant and Russ Larson.
Yes.
That's
That he does.
his
yes,
niche.
Yes. Definitely.
Okay, so now you're just going to say it's an even score right now.
It's
then,
even
on Twitter?
score right now. I'll elevate my game though. I'll pass him.
Yeah. Nice.
But your jumper is better than his ability to co-host on
It
BYU
is.
Sports Nation.
It is. Yes.
Now that we've got the important things out of the way. Dalton Nixon with us on BYU Sports Nation. When you look at the prospect of BYU and playing under Dave Rose, yes, you're accelerated now in your role, But the opportunity to play under a coach like him, why was that something that you felt like I have to do?
In my recruiting with Coach Rose, I just saw the way that his guys played for him and how he coached his guys, and that was just something that I wanted to be a part of. And in my recruiting, he was great with me. All the coaches were great with me, and I just felt like it was the best fit for me and my style of play and being able to play for BYU.
Can you run the floor? That was the other thing I wanted to ask you because it's go fast, go hard on the basketball court.
It is, yeah. And I think my game can translate into the up and down tempo with the basketball team, and I think I'll be able to contribute that way as well.
Were you meant to be a Cougar since your dad played at BYU, or were there liberties to be recruited by other people? I know San Francisco made a push, former teammate of your dad's, recruiting you there.
I mean, I was always a BYU fan growing up. I was always hearing stories about my dad and the shot. And in my recruiting, I think once BYU offered me, I think that was a done deal once they offered me.
Okay.
So, yeah.
How much of an opportunity have you had to play with guys that are on the current roster?
Not as much as when I come back from my mission. I've been playing with TJ and Nick and Eric forever, and so I haven't played that much with the guys on the roster now. But I've played in the past summers with them, just played pickup ball, and I'm excited to get with them. You know, I'm excited to join the team and to get on the court with them. Very excited.
When you've gone to BYU games and you've sort of envisioned what happens with you on the court, what is that vision like? What do you project you might be able to do this?
I think I'll be able to. I think I'll be able to shoot the ball from 3 this year at the 4 spot, and I think I'll be able to really help out that way. And defensively, I think I'll be able to defend both a 3 and a 4, and be able to rebound pretty well. And so that's what I'm looking forward to this season is I think I can contribute on this team by making threes at the 4 spot.
And that's something we discussed the other day, which I said you're a stretch 4, so I think that can change things. When BYU had Steven Rogers and Jonathan Tavernari, and you had one in, which you'd think would be 8s, a lot of times scoring the ball inside, the stretch 4 can change a game. Describe to us how a stretch 4 can, I guess, spread the floor a little more and change things.
Yeah, definitely. One thing in a stretch 4 is being able to shoot the trailer 3, which I think I do pretty well. And that's just another thing where you're going to have a power forward that's going to have to guard on the perimeter. And that's just a disadvantage to the defense, and it's to our advantage, being able to have a forward that's able to play both inside and out and stretch the defense.
The future of BYU basketball, at least from who's coming in on the roster, the recruits, it all looks really, really good on paper. What can you tell us about playing with TJ and with Eric and those guys that validates the fact that some BYU fans think, hey, when those guys get back together, it's a Final Four potential team. Why is that? Why should we validate that comment?
I think the competitiveness and the work ethic that these guys have. I think with TJ and Nick and Eric, they've experienced a success at a young age with going to national tournaments and a national championship at Lone Peak. And I think just the tradition of winning and they've realized what it takes to win. And so that's what I'm excited for, is to be able to get on the court with those guys, and they're just competitive guys and just want to work hard and want to win. And that's what I'm excited for.
And I know that Final Four has been brought up, with this future group, and with, the current group, it's okay, let's get to the second round, see what we can do from there. Or I guess the third round now. But because those Lone Peak guys were able to do it at a certain level, and they all come together, plus you, plus the Jacob Hartsock and Braden Shaws of the world, and Peyton Dastrup, who we plan on having on next week, by the way. The conversation is we could do some special things, something that's never been done at BYU, right?
Absolutely. I think with all the guys on the court, I think what we can do could be pretty special. And I think even this year, I think what we could do is pretty special. I mean, we have one of the best scorers in the country with Tyler Haws, and you surround him with contributors and role players that know how to play and know their role. I think we could do something really special.
And that goes right along with what Kyle Collinsworth told us a few weeks ago, where he said, look, when I was a freshman, we went to the Sweet 16 with Jimmer. I feel like this team has every opportunity to get back to that place. And I think that the linchpin obviously is Kyle coming off of his injury with an ACL, and you have a great scorer like Tyler Haws. But yeah, I mean, it all is entertaining. As much as fun as it is to talk about what BYU can do and this Final Four prospect, I want to know more about Dalton Nixon, the non-basketball player. So outside of basketball, who is Dalton Nixon? What do you like to do?
I like music. I like the social media part of it. I'm a big tweeter. I'm big on Instagram, that stuff. But I just enjoy life. So,
do you like Kesha and Miley Cyrus?
Like,
this is an important question because Chase Fisher.
Can you fit in with Chase Fisher as the real question?
No, definitely not.
Okay.
So what are you pumping in the BYU locker room when you arrive?
I'm pumping some Usher, some R&B, a little bit of that. So that's what I'm feeling.
I'm wondering if you'll get to do that at all. I don't know, like what the freshmen get to do and straight out of high school.
I don't know. Yeah, I'll probably be listening to what Chase and what Skylar want to listen to.
You will listen to Kesha and you will like it.
Yes.
This is fun. Dalton, I want to know too the dynamic of like. You've lived in Utah Valley. You saw Tyler Haws when you were younger, win state championships, go on a mission, come back. Now you get to play with a guy that's, how much older is he? 5 years or something? That's a weird dynamic for BYU guys. The opportunity to play with guys that you kind of watched when you were younger.
It is. It's a different dynamic. I mean, I remember going up to Weber State and watching Tyler win a state championship. I mean, it was crazy. But now I have the opportunity to play with them, and it's just surreal. And to be surrounded with such great players and such great guys it's awesome.
You've won a state championship yourself. Your junior year at Orem, you went back to the state championship game this year as a senior, and now you're here at BYU. Have you talked to Tyler and maybe some of the other guys that were high-profile guys coming out of high school, coming to be freshmen at BYU, and have they given you any bits of advice about what you need to do to compete at this high level of Division I basketball?
Yeah, a little bit. They've just talked about how different the game is and how it's totally different in the mental aspect, and you just got to be so much more prepared in the college game, and so that's what I'm looking forward to, is just being mentally prepared and physically prepared to compete at the Division I level.
There's a lot of brother or father-son combos going on now with BYU as something falls off the set in front. What's going on up front? You have Jackson and Nick Emery, you and your dad.
The Haws brothers.
The Haws brothers. Jordan and Jeff Chapman. I mean, if we have like a round ball ruckus, hoop it up kind of 2-on-2 deal going on.
Family ties.
Family ties. Who ends up out on top of that?
Ooh, I don't know how you can beat the Jeff and Jordan combo. I mean, that's a good combo, but
does Jeff still have it? That's the question.
I don't know if Jeff still has it.
I know the shaved ice going for him.
I know Kevin still has it. Yeah. I know he still has it. But so I mean,
is it Kevin or Dad?
It's Kevin on the show, but
okay. Like my wife calls her mom and dad by their first names, like never mom and dad. I'm like, what? That's funny.
Yeah. My 2.5-year-old just started calling Spencer and like, "Hey, Spencer." I'm like, wait, what?
I didn't know my dad's first name until I was like 6. But so there are those 4 or 5, family tie groups. Who's you think the Chapmans come out on top of that?
I think so. Yeah.
Not the Nixons?
Because they have like the forward guard
you guys can shoot the 3, man.
We could.
The Emerys are quick.
I think my dad would have to get in a little bit better shape for us to compete.
This is so awesome because he's 12 feet away.
And he can't say anything about it. Yeah, he's giving the, okay, stop now.
There could be the Dave Mike Rose uncle nephew. I just thought of that. I don't know if Dave's got the jump shot lift. I bet you Mike would say he's still got it. But
yeah, who knows?
Brock Richner's son-in-law? I don't know. It's getting crazy.
Hey, Dalton, it's been great to have you on BYU Sports Nation. We have tradition here. All the athletes and guests that visit sign our BYU Sports Nation Rise Up flag. So please give us your Herbie Hancock, as Jeremy likes to call it.
I think you're the youngest guy to sign that flag.
Is
Probably.
he?
17.
Unless, well, Jamal Williams older than you now.
Yeah.
He seems to be just the youngest guy at BYU ever. But
Dalton Nixon with us on BYU Sports Nation. He will enroll in fall classes and will compete with the Cougars in 2014. 2015 will serve a 2-year mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints sometime thereafter. Thanks, Dalton.